Will Remillard, catcher, Chicago Cubs, AAA, and waiting to get that big shot up to the bigs, and he's working at it. LaSalle grad, played for the South Troy Dodgers, Albany Dutchman, and at Coastal Carolina. Currently on the DO, a little jammed wrist, but nothing serious for Will this time around. And he joins us here on Big Board Sports, the former News Channel 13 Athlete of the Week. Will, Roger Weiland, and Chris Honorato, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you, Will. Appreciate it. So I guess a little bit of a setback here with the wrist, but I just said it doesn't sound like it's a big deal. You agree? You're okay?
Yeah, no, I'm good. It's just something that you got to let calm down before you can get back on the field.
So what kind of season are you having, Will?
I started in AA Tennessee. I did really well. And then right after their all-star break, so it was early July, I got promoted to AAA, and it's definitely been an adjustment. It's definitely another level of baseball in the aspect of, speed of the game and what goes into it. So not as successful in AAA this far, but, every level that you go up in professional baseball, there's an adjustment period where you have to get used to the pitching, especially as a catcher, you got to get used to, a new pitching staff. And there's just a lot that goes into that jump to the next level.
Will, you've been through a few injuries. I know a back injury, Tommy John surgery, and yet obviously the Cubs have stuck with you. They believe in you to a great degree. What do you feel like you've been able to improve the most in your time in the minors with this organization?
I couldn't be more grateful to the Cubs organization because with all the injuries I've been through, most people wouldn't still be in professional baseball. And I think going through those injuries and dealing with those injuries, mentally, it was a real grind. And I think it's made me a heck of a lot stronger mentally. And I've been able to be around a lot of people that have a lot of, major league experience and then that have been around in professional baseball for a lot of years and been able to pick their brain about how they go about their business. And I think that's been a huge bonus, for me. And even though I had to go through, years of rehab and not being able to play, as much as it would have been nice to, be on the field, I think it's really helped me to be able to learn more about this game and understand, that a lot of different aspects about how to go about your business and what it takes to actually get to, the major leagues.
I was going to say, outside of the injuries, which one can never predict. You never know when an injury is going to happen and going to be a little bit of a setback for you, and you've had a couple of those. Did you ever think it would be this long of a haul and grind when you started the process, Will?
No, absolutely not. Going through, 2 back injuries and then, 2 Tommy Johns. And I never really had an arm injury in my life, in my career before that first Tommy John. And to go through 2 of those, it was definitely a shock. And it was definitely, something that you just can't understand and you don't know why it happens. But, after the surgery's over, your mindset just changes to, I'm going to do whatever I got to do to get back on the field. And that's what I did. And that's what it took to get, to this year where ultimately I've been, pretty successful, especially for taking, basically 4 years off of baseball to come back and be able to have some success. It's, no matter how this year ends, I think it's been a really successful season. And I think, going into next year, there's a lot of positive things that happen that I can take from this year and from from recent years to help me. And hopefully next year, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Can you taste the call up? I mean, do you think about that at all? Like, here you are now. You've gone through it all. Now you are at AAA. The next stop is the bigs, which you've been dreaming about and working your tail off to get to. Can you start to envision that a little bit and taste the someday sooner than later that's going to happen for you?
Yeah, obviously, once you get to AAA, you're as close as you're going to get. And, it's something that I've thought about since I was a little kid. And, to be here now, you got to kind of put it on the back burner because, you want to be there, right? You want to be in AAA, but ultimately the goal is you want to be in the big leagues. But in order to get there, you still have to focus on what you're doing here in AAA and still try to get better every single day and try to, to succeed here so that when your time comes, you're ready to go up there. And that's really what I'm trying to do is just, learn everything I can. There's a lot of guys on this team that have, a lot of years of experience in the major leagues. I'm trying to learn all I can from them. And, once that call comes, I'll be as ready as possible.
Will Remillard with us here. LaSalle's Will Remillard with us on Big Board Sports 104.5. The team, ESPN Radio, is with the Iowa Cubs, and you can check him out on Twitter at Will Remillard. Same for Instagram. Hit him up both places. Will, we all want to live the major league life. Private jets and great accommodations on the road. As a minor league player, though, give me something really good about the journey you guys take as a team, whether it's bus rides or hotel stops.
Yeah, I mean, it's there's a lot of I think minor league baseball gets a bad rap sometimes because of the pay and all that stuff, but you know what you're getting into when you sign up for it. And the road trips and the buses, and now even in AAA, it's 6 a.m. flights. And they're not fun, but you're with your team. You're traveling the country to all these different places and seeing all these different places, and to be doing that while playing baseball and living out your dream. It's really, you can't really complain too much about doing that.
Hey, Will, I got to ask you, one of the coolest moments for me this weekend was watching the Mets hanging out in Williamsport and these pitchers hanging out. I don't know how much you've seen the Little League World Series. You're busy, but it was so cool to see the Mets pitchers in the stands with the Staten Island team, the 12-year-old team that will play again tomorrow. But have you seen any Little League World Series? Do you remember any of those days growing up when you were a 12-year-old?
Yeah, I've been. I keep up with it a little bit, and I remember back in those days, in the Little League days, and if we had the opportunity, to be around major league, guys, especially guys like Noah Syndergaard and Jacob deGrom and all those guys that little leaguers, especially at that age, can talk to and gain knowledge from. I couldn't even imagine what that would be like, and I think it's great what Major League Baseball is doing, to bring those two teams every year now to Williamsport and to be around those Little League kids. And I think it really is, it's a huge plus for just the game of baseball in general.
By the way, Cubs Pirates playing there next year, I'm just saying.
There you go.
Yeah, I know. I just saw that on Twitter the other day.
There you go. Well, we'll see you in Williamsport. That'd be great. Do you remember your 12-year-old team at all?
Yeah, I do. I played in North Colony. We actually played Cal Ripken back then. We didn't do the whole, the Little League World Series route. We played, Cal Ripken, but it was the same concept.
Yeah, and then North Colony is still Cal Ripken. To be honest with you, they're coming off a phenomenal year. All of their teams did really, really well on the Cal Ripken. But hey, Will, we're paying attention to you and many others who are living this dream to get to the bigs, and you are as close as you just said as you can get at the AAA. So get that next step, and we can't wait to make that announcement, my man.
That's the goal, guys. I appreciate it.
All right, take care,
right.
Will.
Thanks, Will.
You guys have a good one.